What's going on, my friends? Chris here. I want to bring you all an update today of Bitcoin. We're also going to get in some altcoins as well. Right now, Bitcoin's sitting at $19,243. We're pretty flat on the day. What I want to do is take a look at Bitcoin here on the 1 week time frame, because guys, we're potentially having another candle close, and this would be the third week that we would have a candle close below this 200-week moving average, and that's going to be in white here. So that's showing some weakness. We would want to see us start having candle closes up above that, because right now we're trading below our 30-week, our 50-week, and our 200-week moving average. So in my opinion, one of the only bullish things that we have going for us is that we've had so many weeks of downside action. We may be due for some type of relief rally that could bring us back to around 29,000. But besides that, right now, guys, this is pretty weak. I mean, we do have some climax volume that came down in this area, and sometimes that can mark bottoms for you. But we haven't seen a massive amount of buying pressure out of that area. So even back in here when we had our climax, we had heavier volume to the upside. Still wasn't the best. It was slightly above average at that time, but it was still more than what we were seeing at this area here. So I would expect, potentially some type of relief rally could happen, for the bulls case. But for the bear case here, guys, we could be looking at still lower levels, and those lower levels, if we turn on our VPVR here, would probably be down around that $12,000 range. Not saying that we have to go there, but it's an area that we have to look at if this weakness continues here, because there are things that are going for the bulls, guys, but mostly it's going for the bears right now. And if we take a look at this weekly chart, I mean, you can just see how many weeks we've been drilled to the downside without any type of relief rally. And we typically do get some type of relief rally, and it really hasn't happened yet, because on this drop, you can see here we had a little bit of a move, but that still wasn't much, and it was on weak volume. And then we had another leg down. So for the best bull case I can give you right now is a reaction bounce up to that 29,000. But it's ugly that we're closing below this 200-week moving average again for the third week. So it's definitely something that we have to keep an eye on here, guys. Now, if we get into the 1 day time frame, we're still trading below our 30-day moving average, our 50, and our 200 here. Clearly in our downtrend, this green line is going to be our previous cycle all-time high, and that was right around that $20,000 area. So this is an area we've been battling at for probably about 2 weeks or so now. So this is going to be an important area for us. And if we turn on our pivot points, what you want to see here, guys, so we need to hold higher than 17,567. If we drop below that, that's going to most likely just go down to be a lower high and a lower low. So this trend will just continue these lower highs, and it could be the next lower low. So something we have to watch. That's why this support is going to be so important. Now, if the bulls can get moving here, we need to get over top of $21,866. Those are going to be the areas. So looking to see if we can set that higher low. That's what we need to keep our eye on. If we get into the 4-hour time frame, let's kind of work through these time frames for us. You can see it a little bit more clearly here. So we did have our higher low here. We were at 17,567, then we hit that 18,603. So on the 4-hour time frame, that's what we need to hold, is that 18,603. If we make a move to the upside here, we got to get over top of this 20,800. But you can see all this resistance that we're going to have right in this area, so it's going to take heavy volume to get up and through that. Then if we get into the 1-hour time frame, and also, guys, if you get something from these videos, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. It always helps us out. Let me know what you got going on this weekend. I'd love to hear it. So we're really tightening up here, just waiting for a break. You can see we've been in that equilibrium. We had that big pump, and then we just kind of chopped around sideways here, and we gave a lot of it back. So we do need to be aware that, we didn't keep moving from this heavy volume here. We gave a lot of it back. If you put a fib on here, you can see, guys, we would trace all the way back to that 0.786. So very deep. We would have wanted to see it stick around that 0.382 would have been good for us. So if we get back to the 1 day time frame, we're going to get into some altcoins, but really watching to see if that can be our high or low. All right. So if we get into our altcoins, guys, we'll take a look at Ethereum first. When we take a look at ETH, clearly downtrend like we're looking at, and you don't want to fight the trend here, guys, unless you have a great opportunity. And I was talking to one of my buddies about this. The next time I would want to potentially buy cryptocurrency is if I see a massive flush to the downside, and we have our weekly oversold, we have our daily oversold, our 4-hour oversold, our 1-hour oversold, our 15-minute oversold, and our 5-minute oversold. And believe it or not, I've seen that happen before, and those can be some of the best bounces. But you have to realize, if everything's crushed, especially on the short-term time frame, you're going to get that bounce, and you want to be able to sell into that bounce, or put a break-even stop, something along those lines to protect yourself. But you're still going counter trend. And right now the trend is down. We're trading below our 30, our 50, and our 200 moving average right now. Main areas we need to hold as support is 879 And then overhead resistance, we're looking at 1,280 is what we're going to need to break, looking for this to be our higher low. See if we can go up and try to get a higher high. That's how we're going to have to get out of here, guys, but we need some volume, and it's really not coming in today. So just keep an eye on that. Next one we're going to take a look at is ADA. We're at 45 cents, still tracking this wedge here that we've been in for a long time. We need Bitcoin to get moving for ADA to really break out of here, in my opinion. Bitcoin's the driver, so we would need it to get a pretty strong pump, and if we did, Cardano's placed a little bit better than some of the other coins, and we'd have to see if we could get outside of this wedge. Right now we'd want to hold roughly that 40 cents, 41 to 45 cents as support. Overhead resistance we'd have to get through is going to be about 52 cents. Then we're going to have a strong area up here at about 68 cents. Same deal though, still trading below our 30, our 50, and our 200-day moving average. So always keeping an eye on that, guys. Right now, still in that downtrend. And that's the thing. Downtrends can last much longer than people realize. So you always have to be aware, and that's why you have to be so careful. If you're dollar cost averaging, it can really keep going down on you, and you have to be aware of that, okay? Next one we're going to take a look at is Litecoin. Litecoin's at $50 right now. So for Litecoin, main support areas we're looking at here, it's going to be about $40. I would like to see us hold that 40.32. That would be an area in terms of overhead resistance. If we do get a quick pump out of here, we're going to need to get over top of $60.44. You can see I have an alert and alarm right in that area, but still getting work by this 30, this 50, and our 200-day moving average, guys. And if you do a lot of reading about the 200-day moving average, typically you want to buy in when you see us get up above it. Remember, this moving average can be in white. When we get up above it on heavy volume coming in, that's when you want to be long. When you drop below it, you can see this area is a great example of it here. Once we drop below it, we never got back up above it. And if you would have sold out at that area, that's a 163 right there, you could have saved yourself a lot of pain. So just, potentially going long when you're up above that 200 with a lot of volume is a good scenario. And then, either backing off the market, protecting your capital, or going short once you break down through that 200-day moving average is a much better strategy, in my opinion. And I've noticed that it's worked really well over the last 5 years. So that's going to be Litecoin, guys. Really watch those areas right there. Did have some heavier buying pressure come in around that 40, so we'd have to see if we could defend that if we get a further push to the downside. Let's see here, some that people were requesting. Guys, you know what? Let's do Matic. I know Matic was one people were looking at in Link. All right. So with Matic, guys, same deal, and this is the power of trends. And whenever you see those good opportunities, take profits. Don't ever be afraid to do it. If some that can help you, a life-changing thing, don't ever be afraid to take profits, because you might miss out on it going higher, because this is what can happen. You can see we're at $3 up here. We're all the way back at 48 cents right now. That's a big loss to the downside. If we just measure that here, you're talking about 84%. No one wants to sit through that. I don't care if you say you're going to be a hodler, this or that. Just really identifying market tops and potentially market bottoms, or when trend changes, it can really help you. And you can see down here, we're trying to get a trend change. We've had some heavier volume here. Our support area is going to be at 31 cents. We need to hold. Overhead resistance is going to be at 62 cents, trying to set this higher low right here. So this is the case for the bulls that we want to see. This be our higher low, then we come up here, push for a higher high, back test higher low, and then we dig our way out of here and we get a trend change. That's what we'd be looking for right now. But the bulls still have a lot of work to do. We're trading below our 30, our 50, and our 200-day moving average. And this resistance area up here between that 62 and 68 could be a heavy resistance area. So definitely something that we want to keep an eye on there. So that's Matic, and then we'll take a look at Link. And then for Link, same concept, guys, just really looking at these trends. Staying up above the 200-day moving average is going to be of great importance. We're all the way up at $53 here for Link, and now we're all the way down at that $6.19. So just showing you the power of these downtrends as well as these uptrends. Price can get much more extreme to both the upside and the downside than people realize. So in terms of support, we're going to be looking at $5.30 is going to be a clean area right here that we're going to need to hold. So that's something, if we do get down this area, you could bottom fish this area, put a stop below that. That's a potential for you if you did want to try along, but make sure you put that stop in and make sure Bitcoin's going in your direction. In terms of overhead resistance there, guys, we'd be looking at $7.55 and up around that $9.65. But it's always important, if you're trying to do this here, guys, and you're trying to, bottom fish some areas, you always want to have a stop loss in case you do break down further. It's something that's going to save you a ton of money. Okay, it happened to me in what was it called, Luna. I was playing some Luna, swing trading this, and this was up when it was up at $100 or so. And I remember I was trading up in that area, and I put in a stop loss, and I wasn't even thinking about it until I heard the news from Luna. And it wasn't a massive position. It was a smaller position that I was playing. But if I didn't have that stop loss, then that money basically would have been gone. I would have woken up and it would have been gone. So it's always important to use those stop losses. So it was a real life scenario to where it was nice that I was stopped out before the massive crash came. So always using those stop losses are going to help you. If you get some from these videos, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Have a wonderful weekend, my friends. God bless you all.